to the man above. Now check me out, now it's just that Fridays was serving the green. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting the rings. But I done spoke too much, close curtain and scene. I am not a human being, I'm a full machine. I ain't holier than thou, I don't judge, I sing. Just staying down for the come up till I reign supreme. Let's get it. Yeah, hit boy, we got another one. Ha! Man, y'all boys ain't ready for this, man. I'm still grinding, I'm still hungry, hungrier than ever. I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible.
We've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
On 2nd and 9, Fields got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Bears had 6 and 9 to start play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinating. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Montgomery. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Once more, Montgomery. And he's not going too far. In fact, stopped dead in his tracks at the 3.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Well, they have a great field position to start that opening drive. They only get 3 out of it, but still they get 3. So maybe kind of a win for the offense, Charles, and kind of a win for the defense as well.
Yeah, I would say win-win seems to sum the whole thing up because where that ball was placed to start, that's tough on a defense, and they held them to 3. Now, if you're the offense, you're thinking to yourselves, how do we open up the playbook later on in this game and turn this 3 into 6s down the stretch?
Three and a half to go, first quarter. Powell throwing on first down here. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 2. Now Howell. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. And see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ballgame, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling right, the right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming in.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
The clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. To try again after the sack. Fields, and this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on third down, Fields. Flush to his right. He finds his man, complete. It's McKinney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. On first down, it's Fields. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Howell throwing on third down here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think...
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Nyheim Hines, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle and complete to Moore. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it, and they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Fields looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be taken at the 10. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now a 2nd down and 6. 2nd down, Howell now. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Howell. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply will not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And taken at the 46. 31 yards on the punt there. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. first down throw, Fields. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in a long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And he missed it. It's no good. And the lead will hold at 10.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up a great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
On first down, Howell finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Slot man moves right. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing here, Howell. He'll find Williams on the slant. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw, Howell. Touchdown! A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. From the 10. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be take it down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. From the 6. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know what I think the defense is saying back to them? Why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Second down, Howell back to pass. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And here's Freiermuth again. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. That pass complete to Moore. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Bateman going to get it now on the jet sweep. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have...
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Howell now to throw it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Here's Howell. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Fields on first down. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. Fields sliding out of the pocket. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. Going for Bateman. He's got him on the out route. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. This one is caught. It's Moore. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Powell throwing for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now Montgomery running right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose. Fortunate to get that football back. As trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
3rd and long. It's Fields. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Fourth down. Fields has to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Powell throwing on 1st down here. Bateman's got it on the crossing route here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Pat Freiermuth, the intended target, but it's going to be second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 77 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.